Hello from my chalkboard wall. So I came back and YouTube had a suggested video for me, which was a spoken word poem by Sarah Kay, who I love. So I went back and watched her TED Talk, and it starts out with a poem called If I Should Have a Daughter. And I don't know if I am in a place in my life to think about that, but I was thinking about what I would do if I could go back to any point in time in my life and give my past self advice. Like, I don't have a lot of regrets, so I wouldn't, go back to one specific place in time and change this one event and watch how it all goes differently. Probably. And so I thought, and I decided that I would go talk to my 4th grade self. And if I could tell anything to my 4th grade self, it would be this. I would tell her to not be a rock. I think I listened to that Simon & Garfunkel song that the chorus is like, I'm a rock, I'm an island, and I decided that that was what you needed to be. Or I decided that being strong and being there for other people but not being with other people was the way to go. And I think the bubble, remember the bubble? I had a bubble. The bubble kind of came out of that, and a lot of my separation from people came out of that, and it's only been in the past couple of years that I've gotten past that. And it's not a huge change. It's not a big thing, but I think I would go back to my 4th grade self, and I would say that to her. I would give her that advice because I think it would stick. I think she'd be more open to people. But also, if I get multiple trips, I think I would go back to my 9th grade self. And I would tell her that you can be pretty. You can look nice, and it's not going to hurt you. And you can let a boy hold your hand, and that's not going to hurt you either. And you can let a boy kiss your cheek, and you don't have to push him away. 9th grade me. You can be a wonderful, beautiful woman, and that takes nothing away from your strength. And I know nobody's told you that, but somebody needs to. So if I could travel back in time, one, I would buy a bunch of Nerf guns, and we would go to the park and have a Nerf gun fight. But then after that, we would go sit down and watch episodes of Buffy, and I would show you these wonderful, beautiful, feminine people who also can kick tons of ass. And I need you to know that, because you're going to spend all of your time in t-shirts and jeans and a layer of grouchiness because you don't think that you can be anything else and still be the kind of person you want to be. You can. You can. And I think for my last trip, I would go back to sophomore year of college me, and I would tell her that purpose is an amorphous blob that will push you around and shove you to different places until it solidifies and hits you in the face like a brick wall. So all of those hours that sophomore me spent yelling at her ceiling, and all of those times that I walked around in existential anguish and continued to do so for years, I would go back to her and I would tell her that I don't need to wait on an answer from the sky. And I want her to have that ingrained in her soul so that when opportunities walk her way in a couple of years, she doesn't feel the need to struggle with them as much as I have. I realize that got a little bit preachy, but honestly, you know me. This is what I do. Anyway, I'd be interested to hear if you had any advice for your past self, but I also look forward to all of the things that you're going to do in your next video, and I will see you on the 1st.